Do you need a business lawyer? When are they helpful? Why should you make that investment? Hey, I'm Pankaj Raval, founder of Carver Law Group, and I'm back again today with a question that we often get, and I'm sure you may be wondering about. Very important question. Business lawyers, require definitely an investment. They're not always cheap to get, and generally you don't want to hire a cheap one. The answer to that is really, you don't know what you don't know. Like many things in life, I would not attempt to do certain things. I would not attempt to repair my car because honestly, I don't know anything about that. And therefore, I'm going to go to an expert. I'll go to someone who's licensed and trained in repairing cars to get their help because I don't know what I don't know. And that what I don't know could get me in trouble and cause more problems with my vehicle. It's similar with a business. There's so much complexity out there in terms of regulations, in terms of things to think about as you're building a business. It's hard enough to be an entrepreneur. If you don't have the right team around you, it makes it even harder. And that is one of the main reasons to hire a trusted advisor as a business lawyer. You want to make sure that there's someone who has the experience in your industry, someone who understands what you're doing and why you're doing it, and is there to really support you. You want someone who's going to listen to you when things are challenging, when you're running into things, because it's your communication that they'll be able to understand and issue spot the problems that could arise in your business. I use the term issue spot because it's a term used in law school, and a lot of lawyers who go through legal training understand the value of issue spotting. It is what we're tested on the bar exam. It is, can we see a fact pattern? Can we see what's going on in this situation and spot all the legal issues there are? That's part of the reason we are licensed. We only can get a license when we can prove on the bar exam that we can in fact do a great job of issue spotting. When it comes to the real world, when we're talking to our clients and we're hearing them tell us about their business, the challenges they're having with their partners, the challenges they're having with their employees, we are in our heads going through, what are all the issues here? What are all the legal issues that could arise? What are the different areas of law that we could, we need to address? What are the regulations? We are thinking about issues, and that's what we're trained to do. That's what our minds are trained to do. That's what we've spent 3 years and multiple years of practicing doing. So when thinking about hiring a business lawyer, make sure they understand you and your industry. The second thing to consider is make sure your lawyer is an expert in contracts. As a transactional lawyer, as a business lawyer, you want to make sure that whoever you're working with knows contracts in and out. They know the regulations, the law, where contract terms could be litigated. Having someone maybe with a litigation background is sometimes nice, but even having someone who understands where these issues arise generally so they can contract for them and help make sure you avoid those issues is really important. That can come from experience or come from their experience being a litigator. There's a variety of ways they can get that experience, but make sure that lawyer you work with has that experience and understanding that, hey, what are the issues that could arise in these contracts that I'm drafting? Where do we see the most problems? And how do we best draft in a way to address those problems? You want contracts that are clear, concise, and have no ambiguity. You want to make sure that everything is clear and spelled out as much as possible. Again, you can't always do that with every single thing because you could have 100-page contracts. So there are certain concessions you will have to make, and that's something you want to discuss with the lawyer. Where do we maybe need to be a little bit more general just so we can make this thing a little shorter versus where do we really want to be specific because these terms are critical to success and material to the terms of the contract. If these terms do not get fulfilled, then there's really no point in this deal at all. We often encourage having a letter of intent or term sheet ahead of time. It's hugely important and hugely beneficial when it comes to drafting that final contract. Ideally, bring in your business lawyer at the early stages when that LOI or term sheet is being negotiated because there's going to be important terms in there you want to make sure are addressed before you move to the long form contract. It'll save you time and money most likely because if you can't agree on the term sheet, you're definitely not going to agree on the terms when it comes to the final product. Those are really important. Remember, your business lawyer needs to be skilled in contract drafting and understand what it means to draft great contracts that'll keep you out of litigation, or at least protect your rights if there is litigation. The third thing a lawyer does is help you make better business decisions. You may wonder, well, they're my lawyer. They're just here to, help me draft a contract and get that done. I don't need business advice. Lawyers are great, especially those experienced ones in business. For example, I have a background in entrepreneurship, running my own firm, building a firm. That has taught me so much about actual world of business beyond an MBA, beyond, certain degrees, actually doing it myself, seeing the reality, seeing the challenges with hiring people, with entering a different agreements with different service providers. I see where these issues arise and I get to apply that now in my own life and also for my clients. So it gives me, I feel, a little edge against other lawyers where maybe they don't have that real world experience. Maybe they don't have the pressure of actually having to deal with the real life ramifications if you don't do these contracts correctly for yourself. It's through that experience, it's through working with hundreds, if not thousands of clients over the years that we have honed certain skills and certain elements important to the success of any client. When a client comes to us, we want to make sure that we are helping them make the best business decisions. And sometimes that means not doing a deal. And that's very important. Just because you want to get a deal done doesn't mean it's the right deal for you. And lawyers help you determine that, because getting in the wrong deal is probably worse than getting a bad deal done. So remember that. A good business lawyer will help you make those smart decisions, help you negotiate, help you think through these terms, help you think in detail and critically about what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go. They will ask the right questions and listen. Make sure your lawyer listens. Lawyers love to talk. Make sure you have a lawyer that also loves to listen. This is where our mindfulness practice comes in at our firm. I have spent years doing mindfulness training around the world and go to silent retreats every year. And it's something that I pride myself on. And also I've realized has helped me so much with helping my clients, because I am there able to really focus and listen on what they're saying without a million things going on in my head. And then I can take a moment and respond. You want to make sure you have a lawyer that listens and can help you make those better business decisions and also keep you out of bad decisions. My name is Pankaj Raval, founder of Carbon Law Group, and I hope you find some of these tips on hiring a business lawyer helpful. If you have any questions or need some assistance, you can find our contact information below in the comments. Can't wait to hear from you.